I'm Greg Hunter. This is the weekly news wrap up for Friday, May 12th, 2017. I'm coming to you from a beautiful, lush farm in Missouri. We have the anti-drought going on in America. We'll talk about the crops and about what's going on at the end of the newscast. But as I said, I'm coming to you from a farm in Missouri, and I want to start with the USA Today article. The headlines are huge. Trump fires FBI Director Comey. The Democrats are all up in a tizzy that, he's impeding an investigation, a national investigation. It's so important. That's not what the associate FBI director, I should say, acting FBI director, Andrew McCabe, is saying. He says, no, that's not going to get in the way. We don't need a special prosecutor. The theme is, that Comey was asking for more funds. Not according to Andrew McCabe. Nope, that's not happening. We have plenty of funds to do whatever we need. But I want to talk about Comey and the email probe and the Russian investigation. All is one thing. Here's the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. I also want to tell you why I think Trump fired Comey, which I think should have happened the day after inauguration. But he's out, and what it says here, what the Post-Dispatch says is that it says that, right underneath the headline, Comey is out, is that basically it's the Clinton probe is the reason why how he handled the Clinton probe. Which he should have been fired for that, because I have said before, I think he is compromised. I think he's corrupt. He may be even incompetent, but he's certainly compromised or corrupt, in my humble opinion. Because when you watched him testify in front of Congress, I mean, it was the ridiculous ideas that, nobody had any intent. They didn't mean to. She didn't understand how, classified documents were classified. She didn't. Listen, Hillary Clinton had a security clearance that was enjoyed by only maybe a couple of dozen people in the American government, in the U.S. government. Because the Secretary of State interfaces with the White House, the Pentagon, the DIA. I mean, they interface with all the employees around the planet, the CIA. I mean, they interface with everyone. Hillary Clinton had a top security clearance. That idea that she didn't understand, what classified information or classified documents were is beyond me. Also, this intent thing. I mean, they had people take hammers to hard drives. What's the intent there? They also, she had a subpoena to Congress for 33,000 emails. Oops, destroyed them. She certainly didn't maintain the records the way she is required to by law. Another felony. Huma Abedin, Anthony Weiner's computer reportedly had classified information on it in a file reportedly marked insurance. How did that happen? Oh, yes, Huma Abedin, she didn't understand anything either. No, didn't have any intent. Outrageous. I mean, Rudolph Giuliani came out and said that he, a former mayor of New York, but also former federal prosecutor, said that he carried, 13, 14, 15 different infractions. I mean, everything from lying to investigators to obstruction of justice to not handling records to, not handling classified information correctly. And let me say it again, I've said it many times, this is my opinion, she had multiple servers, that's a fact, to hide the fact she was taking treasonous bribes, like a fifth of our uranium production ends up in Russian hands, given for donations to the Clinton Global Initiative, which, according to Charles Ortel, is a huge charity fraud that is now reportedly shutting down. When asked about, are you looking into the Clinton Global Initiative? I can't talk about that. I mean, it's outrageous that she monetized her office. Now there's a prime minister out saying, I was pressured, to do a favor for a Clinton Foundation donor. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous. She became multimillionaires based on this. And then Comey, back to Comey. Trey Gowdy brought this up, saying, you handed out immunity to everyone, and you didn't get a single conviction. Trey Gowdy, who I think would also make a good FBI director, I don't know if that'll happen, but he said, he's a former federal prosecutor as well, and says, this isn't the way the FBI that I know of that functions. I mean, it's you watch him, talk about there's no intent. Doesn't have to have intent under the Espionage Act. You could just be stupid. and extremely careless. And so it's just unbelievable the amount of a crime that happened, under while Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of State. She, by all accounts, this is on the Clinton Cash book as well, she monetized her office. She monetized the Secretary of State's office for donations. It's unbelievable. And so for that alone, I think, Comey, compromised, corrupt, I don't know, incompetent, I think all three. And then we're going to flip over now to a different investigation, but it involves Comey as well. The Russia investigation, which I've been saying this all along. There is no there. Comey used this now completely debunked opposition research by a former MI6 agent. His name is Steele, I think his name is, who, Trump was urinating on beds in Russia, and his chief White House counsel, his top lawyer, Michael Cohen, was over in Eastern Europe, colluding with the Russians. Wrong, Michael Cohen. In fact, totally wrong facts, totally bogus report. This is how he went to get a FISA warrant to surveil, wiretap the Trump team. Of course, he said Donald Trump was crazy for coming up with that, but now we find out, well, maybe not so much. But I digress. I'm going to go back to this investigation, this Russia investigation. We are about 6 weeks from this being a year that this started. This started with this report that he went to the FISA court to get warrants, wiretaps, whatever. Of course, the NSA records everything, so the President of the United States, then President Obama, could have gotten anything he wanted from the NSA because they work for him. But the key to this is the Russians. We've heard this over and over again. The Russians interfered with our election. Did they change any votes at the machines? Not according to James Clapper and other top intel people in the Obama administration. Nope, didn't change any votes. Didn't change any at all. But the Russians hacked the DNC servers. Now we find out that the CIA says, well, we this big information dump with Vault 7, it came from one of our own. We have a traitor. And then the other thing is that of course Julian Assange has said he did not get the information from the Russians. Any of the information he's published, he says he didn't get it from anyone involved with Russia. Did not get it from the Russians. Then we find out that, and remember this, back in the day, the FBI, DNC rebuffed request to examine computer servers. How in the world are they going to say, oh, Russia did it, if they didn't even look at the servers? They weren't allowed by the DNC to look at the servers. And here we go, and read this here along with me. This left the FBI with no choice but to rely on third parties for information. Really? You mean they couldn't get a subpoena and just go and seize those servers? I mean, this was a profound national security interest, and they asked the DNC, can we look at your servers? Nope, can't look at our servers. Oh, okay. We won't look at them then. And these actions caused significant delays and inhibited the FBI from addressing the intrusion earlier. I mean, the intrusion by the Russians. How would you know that if you never looked at the servers? We're supposed to take their word for their, Russia, no doubt, interfere with our elections. Really? They no doubt. This is from the same people, the CIA, that spied on the Senate, and they got censured for it. These are the same people, the director, James Clapper, the director of National Intelligence, said, oh, no, we weren't both collecting. No, that was a lie. You committed perjury. So I'm sorry. I don't really take your word for it. And then here we have the Russians, and the key to this are the servers by the DNC. And just read the headline. This is from CNN, incidentally, 1517. DNC rebuffed request to examine computer servers. Why didn't Comey just simply go get a subpoena and say, hey, we want to see what's on those servers, period, the end. So here's why I think Trump fired Comey. He's been the big blocker. He's been the big blocker for all the blocking of the things and that Trump wants to do. And, the Justice Department and the FBI work hand in hand. And if you got a hand, stopping, punching back and blocking everything, There you go. I think the gloves are going to come off. And think about this. Warren Pollock brought this up, said he's going to have to go after people. He's going to have to go on the offensive. And the best offense is the best defense. He can't just let people ping him, bang him, ping him. Like this ridiculous. Now they're talking about how, the confusion at the White House, and Trump said it was under the Justice Department, recommended that they fire Comey, and he said he would have fired him anyway. So what? So what? And now what you're getting is confusion at the White House, and Trump's mentally unstable. And this is the garbage they put in USA Today. Diagnosis, malignant narcissism. Now, this is these health professionals' duty to warn. Really, your duty to warn? I mean, you can just look at somebody without examining them, without intense one-on-one examination, and you could say, we should remove him as President of the United States? Really? You are committing medical malpractice, in my humble opinion. And what you're really committing is a far left wackadoodle communist, basically political opinion, and to try to undermine a duly elected president that was not put into office with this fake story that the Democrats want to keep telling you. The Democrats want to keep telling you that that Trump was elected because of the Russians. Hillary Clinton came out, well, I was doing fine until Comey and the Russians. Totally garbage. They cheated her to get her as the Democratic nominee. Bernie Sanders would have been the guy. And I think there are millions and millions of illegal voters. Otherwise, why would they make California a sanctuary state? Because they're protecting their voters. This is why the Democrats are going crazy. And incidentally, Trump is going to do an investigation on voter fraud, which I think is massive. Why would all these sanctuary cities come out? Because they're a sanctuary for their voters. That's why California made California a sanctuary state. Texas just came out, Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, and made a law saying if you don't play ball, if you don't give up these criminal aliens, that you could be arrested and charged, mayors and police chiefs and sheriffs and whatever. And that's what he's gone after these sanctuary cities. No sanctuary. Whose sanctuary? Not Kate Steinle's sanctuary, where she was killed by an illegal alien who was granted sanctuary status. Whose sanctuary? How about the taxpayers, legitimate taxpayers and legitimate voters of America? What about their sanctuary? But this is why the Democrats are going crazy and calling for a special prosecutor, because they know it's getting amped up. And the Democrats were all well and good to play political piñata with Comey. He should be fired. Maxine Waters. Well, I agree that if Hillary would have fired him, I would agree with, but not Trump. Crazy. Her campaign manager, Robbie Mook. Oh, he should be taken. He should step down. He should be removed from whatever. All these Democrats were all down on Comey because he's the one that caused that Hillary Clinton lost the election, even though she didn't campaign in Wisconsin and she was a terribly unlikable candidate that couldn't get anybody to show up at her events. And I think she won the popular vote because of massive election fraud and voter fraud, and Project Veritas brought all that out. Got that on camera and got all that story out about their election fraud and voter fraud. And I think when you come to find out that a lot of these illegal aliens, a lot of ballot box stuffing that was exposed in North Carolina, they also had exposure of voter fraud, which that was a very tight election, only 10,000 votes, basically put Governor Cooper in office. You're going to find out there's a lot more voter fraud by the millions of votes. That's why states like California and cities around the country are having their sanctuaries, because they're sanctioning their illegal voters, in my humble opinion. Meanwhile, we have things like, hey, more war. Trump ways sending as many as 5,000 more troops to Afghanistan. We have a mini surge going on amidst the frenzy of what's going on with this Trump firing Comey again, which I think he should have fired him. But make no mistake. I think this is the sign that gloves are coming off. Watch the Trump administration go on offense, not defense. I wanted to show you this chart about the economy, just something about the economy. And this is a chart that is showing you about the real inflation-adjusted average household income. The real inflation adjusted. And if you take a look at the top line here, that's the 350,000. That's the top 5%. This is the people making 200,000. This goes all the way back to 1965. Okay, this is 65 here. Here's present day. And down here, this is all the people that make less, the households that make less than 100 grand. You know, people working, hard-working people. 60% of the people down here on the bottom, they've had no growth. No, and this is why Trump was elected. The economy sucks, and Trump and everybody else knows it. And at the top echelon, which is, these are the people that, Wall Street was the people that backed Hillary Clinton. The New World Order people are the ones that backed Hillary Clinton, not Trump. They hate him. Trump's contemplating on ditching this Paris Climate Accord. I hope he does it. But, of course, then he has Ivanka. We'll see. I don't know. One last thing is I wanted to bring up about the farming community. The economy here is pretty good, but let me tell you, the rain here, I mean, in a 2-day stretch, less than a 2-day stretch, they got 11 inches. It's overcast again today. Now, you can have not enough rain. There's your drought scenario. And then the anti-drought, which is too much rain, where the fields are waterlogged and they can't get out and plant. They can't get out and prep. They can't do anything, and right now we're going to get some drying here in the Midwest. But if you take a look at the drought map, and this is stunning. I've been showing this to you. This drought map hit my mic. I've been showing this to you for a while, and if you take a look out west here, California. I mean, we're talking an area that basically is almost drought free. Almost drought free. The whole nation, other than Florida over here, has some drought areas, but basically the United States of America has no drought. And look at it here in the middle. Just a month or so ago, there was a bunch of yellow areas, but not now. It's been watered. I mean, the Mississippi has been out, the Missouri River's been out, the rivers around here have been waterlogged. Major highways have been shut down. Just too much rain. And that's the story right now in the Midwest. So planting is going to be a bit dicey. There's a lot of crops like corn pretty much have to be in by the end of May. Then maybe these guys will end up going to beans. Beans can go into June, maybe even July, early July. They plant after beans after winter wheat. But anyway, I digress. The America story now went from drought to too much rain, and we'll see how that goes. Thank you for supporting USAWatchdog.com with your comments and donations. And remember, this is my favorite part, folks. Fear not. Prepare yourself mentally, physically, above all, spiritually. God the Father and His Son, Jesus Christ, are firmly in charge.